Well, guys, we just talked about sin. Should we talk about the devil?
Let's do it.
Of course, referencing She-Hulk episode. This must be episode 8, right?
Yeah, I think so.
If only I wrote it down with extensive notes. There it is. Yes, episode 8.
Every week we say this, but this has been my favorite episode so far.
No.
I will say I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate parts of it.
You know, to get to the Daredevil thing, like, you know, I was worried they were going to do him dirty. I wouldn't say, well, he was a dirty devil in this episode. But I wouldn't say they done him dirty. But at the same time, like, I do not want the tone he had in this episode to be the tone of the Daredevil show.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that's not the case. I don't expect that to be the case. I think it was just like or She-Hulk, influence on that character, I think.
I'd almost be surprised if they ever see each other again. It was like, oh, we want to have Daredevil in here.
Well, yeah, because he's in New York.
I feel like that came from like the Disney corporation, and then they wrote him into this episode.
I don't know. I feel like because of the lawyer connection, I feel like she will show up in an episode of Daredevil with some sort of legal drama bullshit, Should we get into it, gang?
Let's do it.
So episode 8 entitled Ribbit and Rip It.
Ribbit?
So I was wrong. I thought they would call it She-Devil, which
I thought so
would have been the better title.
What was the Ribbit?
Oh,
what was the Rip It?
That frog guy.
We're going to start off. We're going to start right off with it. So
my memory's a little hazy.
2 thieves are stopped by a guy named Leapfrog, who, for whatever reason, introduces himself as Guard Frog. He takes a cheap shot at the thieves and tries to fly away with rocket boots, but his suit catches fire, causing him to get third-degree burns on his legs. And basically, he's telling all this to Jen. He's trying to get her legal help to sue the manufacturer of the suit, which also happens to be her tailor, Luke Jacobson. I got something to say about this, but I think I'll wait because it'll come up a little bit later. So Jen tries to first get out of the case because she has a conflict of interest. Like
again.
This is again. Yeah, they used this already. And basically, like, her boss is like, oh, this Leapfrog guy, his dad's a wealthy client of the law firm, and he's willing to sign a conflict waiver again so that you can try the case. Now, obviously, I don't know nothing about the law and these conflict waivers, but my thing is there no conflict too severe that a judge would be like, no, I don't fucking care about a waiver. Like, this is obviously such a conflict that I won't allow it.
Well, wouldn't also the tailor have some say in this? It'd be like, hey, this is a conflict. We're we're together.
Right.
Also, what kind of client are you that you want the lawyer who's friends with the guy you're going after to be your representation? Like, I would feel like I wouldn't be able to fully prosecute that person, right? Because my lawyer's friends with that dude.
Right.
Yeah,
and it seems like if you told Leapfrog's rich father that, he'd be like, oh, yeah, maybe that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, just nonsense.
Yeah, there's some pieces that don't fit here.
Yeah.
At least not yet.
That definitely did not make any sense. So Jen goes to Luke and basically tries to get him to settle out of court, but he refuses. I think he calls her like a greasy buffalo or something. And so he gets mad and drops her as a client. He the suit he's making for her gala, he just rips it off the mannequin and she's.
But he doesn't drop Leapfrog as a client.
I mean, we assume he did.
Because Leapfrog's suing him and stuff.
Weren't they together later in the show?
He was kidnapped.
Yeah, he was kidnapped by Leapfrog.
Oh, he was kidnapped.
How drunk are you?
Yeah, how many twisted teas did you drink?
I can't say I was so invested. I was paying super attention. Maybe I should have reviewed the plot.
You should do what I do. Watch a movie 1,000 times.
I can't watch this 1,000 times.
I watched John Wick again, by the way, this weekend. I love that shit.
I didn't like John Wick enough to watch it a second time.
I watched 2 and 3.
I didn't even try the other ones.
I'm afraid if he's still going to be in shape for 4, though, because he's getting up there in age.
Yeah,
Oh,
they can hide it.
I believe in Keanu.
Yeah, I'm still going to watch it.
So the court case instantly starts because, of course, in this show, there's no realistic time frames with the way the court system works. And we find out that Luke is going to be represented by Matt Murdock. So basically, Jen wants Luke to produce his client list so that she can maybe get other people that got defective suits, to build a better case against him. But Matt argues that it would violate the privacy and safety of Luke's clients because they're all superheroes and it could put them or the ones they love at risk.
Yeah, I thought this was very obvious. And I thought if Jen was a decent person, she wouldn't try to expose all those people.
That is another thing, like, I mean, I guess you can say, oh, she's a lawyer, so, like, she's, like, doing the duty she, like, swore to do as a lawyer or whatever. But, yeah, like, there's another conflict right there. Is you wouldn't think she would, be up for
okay
doing
with
that. Yeah. Of course, I guess you could say, oh, maybe she was feeling pressured by the law firm or whatever, Okay. So Matt smells that Leapfrog used jet fuel in his boosters, his boosters, which he says violates the instructions that came with the suit, and basically that instantly makes the judge dismiss the case. So Luke wins. Now here's what I find funny about this is like in this world they are perfectly okay with this guy making suits that have like flying capability, like dangerous flying capabilities that could like really hurt somebody.
Now, yeah, it seems like if you can make rocket boots, like you have an entirely different business on your hands.
Yes. But just think about that. Like, even if he didn't use the jet fuel and he just used the prescribed fuel, it's a very dangerous activity to fly using rocket boots. Like, the chances of you getting hurt are almost certain.
Yeah, and the way he used them, he wasn't like leapfrogging to a building or something. He was going straight up.
Well, luckily he was only like 2 stories high when he crashed.
Yeah, and these don't seem like, Iron Man where you can like adjust the pressure and like slowly go down, It just seems like you're like boom and you're in the air and then like how do you come back down?
Exactly.
So like the fact that this guy can even legally sell this costume seems ridiculous to me.
They're like, he told you not to use rocket fuel.
And actually the other thing is like Matt, he was just like, what's that smell? What did you use for your booster? And he basically just confesses to using the jet fuel. So.
He's like, yeah, jet fuel, son.
Jen tries to get Luke to be her tailor again, but he says he now hates her. So now Jen goes to the bar. Matt buys Jen a drink as a peace offering. Now I did kind of like this line. Matt says to Jen, he says, Jen can help people when society fails them, and She-Hulk can help them when the law fails them. Which I guess would be kind of his vision of what he does as well. So I did like that line. I thought that was a good line.
That reminded me of the actual Daredevil show. It was in line with what he would like believe.
Right.
Then,
yeah. So I did like that. Matt gets like a text or a call or something. It says he has to go. And then Todd texts Jen. So Todd's coming back into the picture. Todd texts Jen. I think you got to be right, or they wouldn't keep bringing him back. Yeah. Like he's got to be affiliated with the bad guys. So. He texts Jen.
What were they called again? The website guys?
Intelligentsia. So yeah, Todd texts Jen and wants to meet. They go to this restaurant. He talks about how he bought a Wakandan war spear at an auction for $1 million.
$1 million.
He's like really trying to impress Jen with the fact that he's got money. So apparently the Wakandans want the spear back because they say it was stolen by colonizers back in the day.
Yeah, they kind of make this guy to be out like a wigger or something. Like he wants to be black. I don't know.
I thought he was just some like entitled douchebag.
Yeah, I got more of like, this entitled guy that's like, thinks he's something because he's buying all this.
Yeah.
And he did have a line though where he's like, I'm the like foremost like collector of African cultural items or something.
That was really
Yeah.
that was-
And he was like Wakanda forever.
Oh yeah.
right, yeah.
That was wiggerish, I
Yeah,
guess.
that was. Yeah.
So then Todd kind of blatantly hits on She-Hulk, and she's like, ugh, and she like shoves a table over at him, causing like wine to spill on him. So Jen barely gets home and she's instantly called by Leapfrog. He calls Jen. He's all like freaking out. He's driving his car really fast, and we can tell that there's like somebody on the roof like breaking his window and trying to get to him. So he's like freaking out, and he's like just telling her like, "Oh, they're after me," and somehow she figures out like where he is. And she's like, "Oh, I'll meet you."
He put on find my friends. On his phone. He like shared his location.
Oh, okay. And she's like, "I can be there, toot sweet," or something. I don't know. And we see that really quick. Her hand goes in her closet, and we get that she's taken that suit that Luke made for her that we haven't seen yet.
Which is basically the spandex that Hulk recommended.
Yeah, yeah, it really is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So She-Hulk, like, and I mean, this is another logic thing where she's just like, she gets to this guy's car, right away where he is. Like, he basically would have had to been a block away from her for this to work out.
Yeah, I mean, I would have cut that too. I don't give a shit about her jumping around or taking a cab or anything, so.
But anyway, she gets there. She basically stops his car with her body, and Daredevil flies off the roof. And the big reveal that it is Daredevil. He was the one on Leapfrog's car. So basically, I think Jen tells like Leapfrog, get out of here. I'll deal with this guy. So Jen and Daredevil immediately start to fight each other. Jen like causes so much money damage. Like she fucking wrecks this car
That's
park.
what Hulks do.
I guess.
Yeah, she picked up some expensive ass cars and threw them.
Yeah. She was picking up that one. I was like, that's somebody paid a lot of money for that.
And she picked up like it was a rock.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like Hulk before he was Smart Hulk and he was just like Monster Hulk. Like it makes sense that he's like smashing him, like really making a mess of things. She's still got her intelligence, so she should not be that bad at doing this, So, and then I wrote, she throws a car at Daredevil, which could have easily killed him. Like he's not super powered. Like if she hit him with that car, he would be fucking dead.
He's the devil.
He'd be dead devil.
You're devilish.
So she grabs Daredevil and takes his mask off, discovers that he's Matt. Daredevil says that Leapfrog's a bad guy. He kidnapped Luke and is holding him as a hostage. So yeah, now we go to his what is the lily pad, like his place or whatever. And Leapfrog is forcing Luke to make him a new suit.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got some henchmen around.
Right.
And stuff.
Oh yeah, and Daredevil has this conversation where he's like, there's a difference between henchmen and goons. Henchmen are true believers, and goons just do it for the money. So he's saying that these guys are goons. So basically, like Daredevil, like tells Jen that, like, oh, there's this many guys in the building. I can tell because I have really good hearing and I can hear their heartbeats. And basically, he's like, you stay here. I'm going to go stealth all these guys. And you can tell, like, she just wants to go in there with her powers and, like, beat them all. But he's like, no, follow my lead. I wrote Daredevil beats up some goons that are using crossbows for some reason.
Man, Daredevil never gets an opponent with a gun, does he? They always have swords or something like that.
I mean, really, why would these guys be using crossbows? That was so stupid.
Anything but a gun.
It's stealthy. It looks cool.
More bad guys come. They're about to fight Daredevil, but then Jen crashes through the roof and just basically like instantly smashes these guys.
Yeah, was
I
that
thought
just
she
like a
killed
big
them.
chunk of roof that just like smashed them?
I guess
Yeah.
so. So they're probably
they're
dead.
probably dead.
Daredevil, like,
Now make a spaghetti.
I was like, he didn't make a big deal out of that either, because you would think he would make a big deal out
He's
of
like, well, it is what it is.
He's like, I think I can hear a heartbeat.
it. They're holding on.
he hit a couple people. I was like, well, they might be dead.
So now Daredevil and She-Hulk beat up the rest of the goons. And then Leapfrog tries to get away by jumping out the window. And
Right, he
basically
did the Mr. Invincible.
Oh, yeah, he just crashes through the window
Mr.
and
Immortal.
hurts himself.
Just jumps out the window and lands. Apparently very badly.
Which, by the way, this whole episode, he had third-degree burns on his legs. He wouldn't be doing anything, would he?
Yeah,
He'd just be laying around.
He'd just be laying around in pain.
It hurts.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Luke forgives Jen and agrees to make her dress again. So Jen and Matt have a discussion on the top of the building, and Matt says, "Oh, maybe next time I'm in town, I can take you out." And Jen's like, "Or you could just come back to my place and pound me like there's no tomorrow."
So that's more or
I
less it.
remember her saying that.
No,
I read between the lines.
like it's been a while since I watched Daredevil. It seems like in those seasons, like there was some like he was almost kind of like monkish, like in his training, like stuff. Like he didn't have any love interest, did he?
Well, he kind of did. What's her name? Karen?
Karen Page.
Yeah, on the show. He
Yeah,
kind
I
of
don't
liked
remember
her.
that.
And
Did she
I think there
die?
were Others.
He
No,
lost
she lived.
interest.
She lived.
He lost interest.
Yeah, I think she kind of got a relationship with Froggy later or something. I'm not sure.
It's been too long since I watched it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
on
don't
vacation.
think they ever like really
Because he
became a couple or anything.
had his old mentor. Did he die or was he alive?
Oh, Stick?
Stick. Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
he died.
It's been too long since I watched
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I liked it, but it's been too long.
I was just thinking he's gonna go back to New York, and this old guy's gonna be like, "I smell pussy on you. You've gone weak."
Well, he did fuck.
That guy seemed kind of like
Elektra.
unkillable.
Oh, Stick.
Electra.
In season 2, he hooked up with Elektra.
Man, I don't
Yeah,
remember shit.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I don't. I know I watched it. I don't remember that at all. At all. But yeah, she dropped pants pretty quick for this guy.
Yeah, so her and Daredevil.
Do I smell a vagina tree rolling into town?
They made a come true.
Yeah, I was gonna make a come true reference, but I didn't know how. So they had this whole thing where like Matt in his Daredevil costume in the morning is doing the walk of shame,
Oh yeah.
which you wouldn't think he would go outside in the daylight as Daredevil, right?
No.
Well,
You would think he would.
He didn't have his other clothes. He just had to go barefoot.
You
to
could have
walk
just
the street.
worn something she had at that point. Like, you don't wear your superhero outfit.
Yeah, it just didn't seem like
She did have some manly suits.
If he at all was concerned about his identity, he would not have walked out
Yeah.
in his
But
fucking.
I thought it was all for the humor, so I didn't really hold it against
But see, that's the
him.
problem I have with this show sometimes, is they'll go for the humor even though it's stupid.
I mean, I
It
get
doesn't make
but
sense.
I can let it go. Like, I feel like the Daredevil show will fill in all this stuff about the character, and then, we won't have to. I just don't think it's that big of a deal. But I get that some people do. So, yeah.
Them hooking up though, like it makes me wonder, like, have they ever gotten together in the comics? It kind of makes sense as a couple, just because they both have the same kind of gimmick, like lawyers by day, superheroes by night. It seems like you could do something with them in a relationship.
The thing
of
is, I kind of felt like if they were going to do it, like they should have like not had anything happen, because then you can at least have the tension.
That's true.
Because there's like no tension. Next time they meet, they're going to be like, "Oh yeah, we fucked last time we met."
Yeah, when she cameos in the Daredevil show, there'll be some sort of like reference to that.
Yeah.
But by then he'll have a new love interest.
That's the thing. Yeah, because she won't be like a normal part of his show, you know. So he'll have to find another love interest. So She-Hulk goes to the gala. She's greeted by her perfect stranger's dad. Jen spots Todd talking to her boss. So I thought this was weird.
Is Balky still alive? They should bring him in.
He is. They should bring him in.
He's Larry Bartolakis, right? Is that it?
Bartolakis.
Oh, the...
Nice character name.
Well, do they have the same last name? I'm not sure.
I thought so. I
think
don't know.
they're cousins, right? Something
Yeah,
like
they're
that?
cousins.
Because the one's Balky.
Yeah, Balky.
Balky, and he's Larry. And I know Balky has that strange last name, but I didn't know if he did or not.
No, I don't know.
He probably does. I don't know. So I thought this was weird. So we found out that last episode that Jen's up for that Lawyer of the Year award. Oh, yeah. But then they give it to Jen and like 5 other women, like
Oh, yeah.
the Lawyer of the Year award. I was like, how is it Lawyer of the Year if they're giving it to like 5, 6 women or whatever? I don't know. That was weird.
It was a... yeah, we talked about it a little bit. She's had like 2 cases. 2 lukewarm cases. But yeah.
But I guess it does play into that, scene from last episode where she's like kind of resents the fact that like when she turns into She-Hulk, she gets all this attention, but when she's just herself, she doesn't. So it's another thing of like She-Hulk getting this attention. So all the women like get to talk a little bit, but during Jen's speech, she's interrupted by Intelligentsia, who basically take over the screen behind her, and they start showing a sex tape of her and that Josh guy.
That's another thing. They're like, oh, she's only getting attention as She-Hulk, but to be honest, it seems like she's getting boned every other day. So I don't know. I think she's doing all right.
Although,
But she's only getting boned as She-Hulk. It's so sad.
No, like the Asian guy boned her as her, and then Daredevil.
Did he bone her as her?
I think so.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He
The
did.
real her.
Okay.
Yeah. So she gets mad. She breaks the screen, which causes everyone to like panic and run out. And Jen sees like this group of men in masks, and I guess assumes that they're part of Intelligentsia. Which, I mean, how do we know these guys aren't just like guys scared of getting COVID?
Right. Yeah. They could just be the catering crew who was
Right.
like, we have to wear masks.
Yeah, these poor guys.
I was thinking today, actually, at work, that like it's starting to become a little sketchy again if you're like wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Because like I work right there, and there's a bank, and like people went in with masks, and I was like, these guys are a little sketchy.
Well, a lot of people took advantage of the whole mask thing and like committed crimes.
Yeah.
Now it just feels like they might be out there.
So Jen chases after one of these masked guys, grabs him, but then she's immediately subdued by like police that are almost like, not only are they on the spot, I guess they're security for this gala because of course like a lawyer industry gala, like somebody's going to try to fuck with. So like my thing is like, why were these guys on the scene there? And like, why are these guys dressed like there's some sort of like SWAT team, like super soldiers or something?
Yeah, they all had lasers on her and stuff. It was like a SWAT team. And there's hints that she's losing control of her composure, I guess.
I mean, yeah, like because before she broke the screen, like I think that Mallory lady was like, "Don't do it." Or,
Yeah.
But once again, this feels a little bit like a lecture because this is definitely like taking shots at like the slut shaming people, or at least it seems like that, right? Like these Intelligentsia guys are like, "Oh, she's a slut, and here's the proof," or whatever.
I'm starting to feel that way because she pretty much just fucks somebody every week.
Slut shaming. No, but again, it's like it just feels like we're being lectured to again on this show, which we don't really need. But
I need a lecture because
She-Hulk can do all the boning she wants, as far as I'm concerned.
this show's making me sexist. It's turning me into the very thing they warned me against.
I know what's happening. You got a thing for green chicks, and you're just mad. You haven't found
Green.
one yet.
All the green ones are taken.
I don't know. I think Gamora looked good.
Yeah,
Or
that's
did
true.
look good.
That's true. I mean, that is like on some sci-fi shows, like there will be an alien chick that just looks like a human person in a different color, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh yeah. I mean,
It works.
even like Guardians of the Galaxy, like that first chick that's like on a ship or whatever, she's just like a regular chick with like I think like blue skin or
Like
something.
purple or something.
I
Yeah.
think purple. Maybe.
Yeah, I thought she looked cute. She looked fine to me. She didn't look anything alien at all.
You know, I do wish like human beings had like even more variety in skin
Yeah,
color.
I do too.
But do you think then we would be? Do you think we'd be even more tribal and stupid? Like, oh my god, the purple
I think the
skins.
same.
And,
Yeah, we probably. I don't know.
I mean, you might have more options, but we'd be the same terrible
Yeah.
creatures.
yeah, you just have like. It'd probably be weird racism, like a little different.
Yeah.
Like those off-white people.
I do like the idea that like if a red skin and a blue skin hooked up, they'd have like a purple kid.
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
like color theory type shit.
That's my favorite color, purple.
I mean, you can think about like people even like we'd be like, oh, they're black, and they'd be like, he's black, I'm brown.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He's dark brown.
Oh yeah, for sure. That would be the thing. They'd be
Yeah.
like, I'm light pink. You're dark pink. Fuck you.
Yeah. Fuck those dark pinkies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd find something. Some reason to be angry.
So yeah, I mean, this I think was one of the better episodes of She-Hulk.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was my favorite.
It was all right. I mean, I kind of like that they had their little fight, and they both had like logical reasons for fighting, and then
It was
kind of
a
ironed out.
positive portrayal of a man in this episode, like that was also a good thing. We hadn't seen many good guys, and Daredevil actually was somebody that,
Yeah, we know they can't turn him into an asshole.
yeah.
They keep coming back to Todd. Do you think he could be the main villain rather than just working for the villain?
This is what, like his third appearance?
Yeah. Something like
So
that.
yeah, he's got to be part of it. I mean, he's got the money to buy henchmen, so maybe. I
But
could see
again,
it.
one episode left. They have to introduce who's behind it all and make it satisfying.
Could
do you
be
think
his
they could do
dad or
that?
something? Maybe it's Todd's own father who's like behind it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, the only enemy they have left is the intelligentsia.
Yeah, look, I wasn't too excited about that being the main enemy at the end of this episode, but I mean, if that's the way they're gonna go with it, I'm curious to see who's the leader of the intelligentsia, like who's in charge, what's going on, why are they doing this?
I mean, is there anything from the comics this could be?
I mean,
Is there another Hulk character that shows up who's been injected with Hulk blood at any point?
you would think that's something that would happen because we know they have her blood. So you would think that's the end goal is they would turn somebody into a Hulk, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know that much about the Hulk universe, I guess.
I don't either. Like, I tried one series of Hulk comics that got like good buzz, and I still found it to be incredibly boring.
Yeah.
He's just a kind of one-dimensional character. Then again, this is She-Hulk, and she might be actually a more interesting character.
I was listening to an interview with Ed Norton who was talking about like when he did it, and like his kind of take on it was like, this is like a cursed creature basically, which I think is kind of an interesting take, that like he's delved into the dark, arts or whatever, and now he's cursed. So I, from that point of view of the Hulk, I think that's kind of an interesting take.
You got to figure, like, it's... I mean, I don't know the history of it, but you figure they were probably just like, oh, let's make a Jekyll and Hyde type character, right?
I mean, yeah, I could definitely see that.
But mostly, I just feel like he's so one note, and it's all about like anger and dealing with anger. And
I think like the Hulk storylines actually dealt with that quite pretty well because he did have that, but he also transitioned and he did have like a story arc. So I think they dealt with that particular problem pretty well.
I don't know. For me, like the Hulk's whole thing is like he's supposed to be really strong, but he's always just like a test for other people to prove how strong they are.
Right. Right. Can you beat the Hulk?
Yeah.
the only thing about this intelligentsia group is just, I think we talked about this a little bit last episode, but like, if they're these, you know, shitheads that are supposed to be analogous to like, shitty internet groups or whatever.
Right, pretty much up to this point, they haven't been really anything but internet trolls, but they have succeeded in getting her blood. Or
but I'm
whatever.
like, why would they create a group just that singles her out?
Also, like,
They would go after every female superhero.
well, how quickly they formed after like she started to exist.
That's the other thing too. Is like
she hadn't done anything at that point.
I mean, I don't know the timeline of the show and like how many months it's been since she actually turned into She-Hulk, but she's a relatively new superhero, and there's already this group dedicated to her destruction.
We hate this bitch.
Well, maybe they could like if they had shown like a toxic male fan base for the Hulk, like, and then like them seeing like, oh, there's a female Hulk, and then they could be like, well, that's bullshit. And then
Oh, so these are like people that are like hardcore fans of the Hulk,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
like, she's stealing his gimmick, this bitch.
yeah, I could see that happening with Thor too, like where Jane Foster becomes Thor, and they're like, oh, this bitch.
Well, there are real life people that had a problem, a big problem with like her basically, not only getting Thor's powers, but using the name Thor.
yeah.
So it does seem like maybe this show is even a response to those people in a way.
I can see that.
But again, it just seems a little lectury to me.
Yeah. Well, do you think that one like nerdy guy is going to become like the main villain just because he's like, I'm obsessed with her and she's fucking everybody except me?
He's like an incel. Oh my god, that would be like intelligentsia. That makes sense.
That's an internet troll right there.
I was also thinking like, you guys talked last week about, is it possible they could take the Abomination guy and be like, oh, he kind of masterminded this whole thing and like turn him heel. And I'm thinking like, they could do that, but then it's like he went to such great lengths last episode to like kind of help her.
Well, I mean, plus Wu would have to come out as like a horrible judge of character.
That too. Wong, but
Wong, Wu. Yeah, it starts with a W, it has an O in it. Close.
Wu has a U. W-U.
I thought it was W-O-O.
Woo! The nature boy.
It's about fighting in the ring. And, I don't know. It's all coming together.
But yeah, so I don't know. I just at this point I'm like, is there a twist that could actually be interesting? And like, I don't know.
I mean, could it be a fight with the intelligentsia where like, the Abomination comes out on her side?
I feel like
Because it feels like Daredevil's gone already. Like he showed up, he's off to
he's
New
done.
York.
He's
It's
done. Yeah, I figure it's just got to be like she finds out who's behind it all. They give the serum to somebody that hulks up. They have a fight. She wins.
Yeah. And I could see it being a Titania who's the one who hulks up.
I mean, that's the other thing that
I feel like
makes sense, but she's such a weak villain.
Yeah. She doesn't have malice.
I feel like we already had the random wedding, and it's just going to be like, oh, you thought there was going to be a big conclusion? Well, now we're having a funeral. Inconvenient, isn't it? This is your finale.
That would be funny. She breaks the fourth wall. You thought we were going to do something interesting. Well, Fuck you.
We'll see how it goes. Okay.
I fucked Daredevil and now I'm fucking you.
Also, nobody ever explains this, but what happens if they shit in Hulk form?
Yeah.
Like, is it just insane?
It's an environmental issue.
You know what? If that
Class 5 cleanup.
if the last episode was just them exploring that and nothing else, I'd be like, you know what? This show turned around for me.
Yeah, I'd be down to see what happens to that toilet.
Rage shit.
she changes back to her form and she's just like all skinny. All emaciated.
She only has like 20% of her body.
Or she ate like an entire like pig while she was in Hulk form, and then she looks like she's pregnant or something.
Oh yeah, that could be the whole drunk thing too, like where she changes back and she's got like just a whole pig inside.
This was a mistake.
Oh, you know, that's how she's gonna beat like if it's Titania or whoever turns into Hulk, she's gonna like force him to drink a bunch and then change and get like alcohol poisoning.
Oh, the perfect murder.
Drink them under the table and then just like transform.
Oh yeah. Instead of a real fight, she's like, I challenge you to a drinking contest. I don't know how it's gonna end, but my money is on unsatisfaction.
It's completely nothing is on or off the table. Like
They got one
No
episode
idea.
to wow us and
Yeah.
bring it home.
If I had to guess, I would have thought we'd be like on episode 6 out of 9 with the way the plot has
Right.
who's the most sexist superhero out there,
sexist.
or supervillain?
Probably what's his name, Eros, because he can get women to sleep with him even though they don't really want to. He just uses his like powers to get them to do that.
Man, that's a nice power. That's a good power.
Like he can get anybody to like agree with him and like do whatever he wants, basically.
I mean, most of the superheroes on The Boys are pieces of shit, so probably somebody.
Oh yeah. Bringing Homelander, getting a hand job from like a
Burned up the Stormfront.
right. She's like missing her legs and one arm. He's like, you can still give a hand.
That's
The
a great
Boys.
fucking show, though.
I'm enjoying The Boys.
Yeah.
The Boys.
Well, guys, we did make it over the hour mark. Should we wrap this bad boy up, or you guys got any other thoughts?
Cum tree. I don't know. It's a pointless callback.
Instead of a Christmas tree, you put up a cum tree.
Just like you just planted an entire orchard. What were they, plums or something?
Pears.
Pears. Nothing like a good pear.
Who's eating pears off the cum tree?
These pears taste like cum.
Yeah. They smell like cum, but they taste really good. Trust me.
All right. Well, if you live anywhere near a cum tree and can verify what they smell like to us, please let us know in the comments below. But speaking of that, please, if you will, go ahead and subscribe both on the YouTube channel and in audio form on your podcast service of choice. Leave us comments. We appreciate those comments. Thumbs up, positive reviews. And why not come over on Twitter or whatever it will be after Elon Musk maybe buys
He's renewed his offer to buy it, right?
Yeah, it's like
something like that. He keeps going back and forth. I don't know.
Well, after he found out that like a third of them are fake accounts, like he thought maybe he was being a bit hasty.
But anyway, roll on over to Twitter. Give us a follow. Talk to us. And you can find us at what handle?
a name for this too, and that's the number 2.
At unsolicited SUG. And if you have a bunch of fake bot accounts, I will let you follow me.
Yeah, I guess we shouldn't be picky, right? The bot accounts at least make us look good.
Yeah, we'll take them.
Well, anytime I get followed by one of these like fake prostitute accounts, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll follow back. Me and you can be friends, and then they instantly DM me, which it's nice having some fake relationship going.
It's like some FBI agent.
Yeah.
You know, I do have an issue with a certain bot though, Poop Bot, because
Oh, I've seen Poop Bot.
well, back in the day, Poop Bot like retweeted like one or two of our stories that had
because
poop
the
in
word
it.
Poop, yeah.
And then I haven't heard from Poop Bot in ages, and we've had so many poop stories.
Maybe they cracked down on Poop Bot.
Maybe they feel like we're spamming the topic.
Come on, Poop Bot, give us some love. And you can, of course, find me at Zach Jones Live. That's ZachJonesLive. And that is going to do it for all of our shenanigans and poppycock this week. Please, please, please tune in again next week. Bye, guys.
Take care.
Yeah, have a good one.